Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? If you guys have never been to a HelloGreedo patron sponsor Q&A, basically how it works is I have a Patreon page where people can support the channel on a monthly basis. I also have the YouTube sponsorship section, which is a relatively new thing for the channel. Maybe in the past 3 months or so, the sponsor button has been there. But so yeah, how it works is every month, people can ask a question on Patreon. As you can see, you see some questions right there. They can also ask them if they're a sponsor on my Discord server. And if you're a sponsor on the YouTube channel, you can actually chat in the live stream. As you can see, Raptark is right there, and Tom Davis. Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Good morning. Yeah, I got my BB8 coffee mug here. It's 10:01 in the morning. And I am ready to get down and dirty with some questions. I have not looked at any of these prior. That's kind of how it works. I sent an email, Greedo song ideas. Nice, man. I'll check that out. I've been kind of distant with everything lately. I feel like I am a bad YouTuber lately just because, fuck that, right? More important thing is being a better father, right? Just preparing for my baby. But I'll check that out after the stream, man. I'm pumped. I've been like using a lot of Far Away album stuff lately, just to change things up, because like YouTube has its own music section, you know, like free, royalty free. Is that what they call it? Music section. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. We'll make a Star Wars song. The problem is me writing lyrics. I don't know how it's gonna go, but good to see you, Raptar. Good to see you, Tom. Yeah, so how the Patreon the Q&A works is I just go down the list of questions, answer them, hang out with you guys for a bit. It's actually less questions than normal. It seems like half the questions than normal, so which is fine, which is good, which is all right. I'll hang out with you guys though. But welcome to the stream, everybody. And if you're not able to chat, don't be mad. I've had people get mad. Can you believe that? Silly? How silly that is? How silly I do this 12 times a year. Take it easy, Tom. Good to see you, man. And yeah, this will be uploaded afterwards, so if you want to listen to it while you're at work, you can listen to it like a podcast. But yeah, people actually get mad about my my supporter Q&As. Can you believe that? Well, I can't talk in the chat. Well, hey, I do this 12 times a year. 12 times a year, that's it. And people get mad. Can you believe that? I stream like every single day, and people get mad that I do this 12 times a year. As a thank you to the people that support me on a monthly basis. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world. You guys make this channel possible. I can't stress that enough. So I greatly appreciate the support, guys. What is a podcast? It's like a radio show, kind of, but on the internet, and way better. You don't know what a podcast is, man? Google podcast. Oh, man, you're about to enter into a beautiful, big world. A podcast is basically this. Talking. And sometimes most of the time, there's like a group of people or two people talking. You don't know what a podcast is? Man, you're about to find some cool stuff. All right, let's go down the Patreon questions first, and then we'll hop over into the sponsor questions. And obviously, I will be monitoring the chat as we go, but everybody, welcome to the stream. Let's get started. The first question Actually, I need to kind of move my monitor so I can actually see this. All right. I still have to figure out the best spot for my microphone because it blocks a lot of my screen. Whatever. Let's get to the questions. First question comes from Mr. Paul Robinson. Good to see you, Paul. Hey, what was your favorite toy as a child? Mine was 100% my Falcon. Or possibly my AT-AT. Hope the baby plans are going well. Best to you and Mrs. H. Well, I appreciate that. And the baby plans are going well, actually. It's super close. We've been kind of communicating with our doctor lately. We had a little thing on Friday, a little scare, but everything's good to go. And my wife could go into labor at any moment. I mean, like, she's basically in, like, pre-labor, which is, I never knew this thing existed, Paul. Like, I thought it was like the movies, right? Oh no, my water burst, time to go to the hospital. No, labor, I never knew labor could take, like, she's basically, you know, dilated, all that kind of stuff. But you could be dilated for 3 weeks or something like that, and then have the baby. So you could be in like this long, extended ass labor. Hard to believe. I never knew this. This is. I guess TV taught me about pregnancy. I guess, but once you're actually in a pregnant relationship, you learn that TV is bullshit. But Paul, my favorite toy as a child, probably I would say the thing that I played with the most were well, it's hard to say. See, I had this the Ghostbuster house, the big tall Ghostbuster house. I mean, you could Google it. I think it was made in the late 80s, early 90s. And it was this tall, like 3-story Ghostbuster house, and you could pour slime down it. And it was awesome. Awesome. And everybody, like all of my toys, whether they were Star Wars, G.I. Joe, superheroes, Ghostbusters, whatever, everybody lived in this Ghostbuster house. I wonder if I still have that at my parents' house. I'm not too sure. But I would say that is one of the things that I played with the most as a kid, because it was like the backdrop to so many action figure dramas that I had, you know? G.I. Joe Army Men fighting Star Wars action figures. But that was probably my number one. I'm thinking like the things that I played with the most were like G.I. Joe, like the little green army men, I would say. And what else? And I loved medieval Legos. Like out of all the Legos I've ever had, I loved the medieval ones. Knights in shining armor, castles. It was awesome. But yeah, Paul, thank you for the question. And I just realized I fucked up. Han, you were supposed to be the first. I have your video queued up, ready to go, and I completely forgot to click play. So you are question 2. I usually put the video questions at the very front, but I apologize for that. But welcome to the live stream chat, Hawthorne. As you can hear by that Death Star alarm, which I barely heard, I need to turn up my computer volume. We have a new sponsor to the HelloGreedo YouTube channel. Hawthorne, thank you so much for the sponsorship, man. I know you're a patron. You're always super chatting. Now you're a sponsor. I wish all of this stuff could be combined, you know? Like, I wish if you were a patron, you could have access to this chat. But unfortunately, like, I don't know. Maybe systems need to merge. I don't know. But Hawthorne, thank you so much for becoming a member of the fleet. Welcome to the fleet, man. I greatly appreciate that. So, yeah, I said there's a video question. Hawthorne, his video question is coming up right now. And I had to listen to it beforehand because whenever I play it on OBS in a stream, I cannot hear it. So I already know what he's going to ask. What he says something at the end. You might have to help me out, Hoth. All right, I'm playing it. Ready? Here is Hawthorne with his video submission.
Hey there, HelloGreedo. Hawthorne here, delivering a question in video format. In his now infamous TED Talk, J.J. Abrams described the power of mystery boxes and how they populate much of his work, and the works that inspired him. Star Wars now fitting into both those categories. The OT and PT are littered with mystery box moments throughout it. Those moments that make you wonder and question about events and characters outside the story being told. My main question is this. What are your favorite mystery boxes of the sequel trilogy thus far? What moments and or details cause you to make inferences about characters and or events? Thanks for answering my question, and be well. Good luck with the baby later this month, and feel free to use my Patreon contributions on a onesie and a lightsaber rattle.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Nice. Cool, man. Awesome. So thank you so much for submitting that video question, man. I'm assuming you guys could hear it, right? You could hear it, right, Hoff? Okay, hopefully. But yeah, so my favorite mystery boxes of the sequel trilogy. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TED Talk from J.J. Abrams. If you haven't seen it, Google it, TED Talk, J.J. Abrams. He talks about mystery boxes. It's a really sweet story about his grandfather. Okay, good, you could hear it. Awesome, perfect. I couldn't hear it. So if I forget anything, let me know. So yeah, this really sweet story about J.J. Abrams and his grandpa, about him buying his early cameras, about, yeah, just their relationship, how kind of his grandpa taught him to tinker with stuff, kind of fed his curiosity. Really neat. And then he has this box that he bought at a magic shop, and it's just a mystery box. And he's had it. He's never opened it. He's had it since he was a kid. It sits in his office. And basically, this mystery box is kind of an analogy or a metaphor for his storytelling. He actually talks about Star Wars, as Hawthorne said in his little speech, where, like these two droids, what are they? Star Wars opens up with a lot of mystery boxes, So what is my favorite mystery box from the sequel trilogy? Probably my favorite, well, some of them have already been answered, right? As far as we know at this moment. But my favorite one was Rey's lineage. Because, I never really anticipated it being anybody big. I didn't think Rey's lineage would be like a Kenobi or a Skywalker or anything like that. That would be too cheesy, too obvious, too fan fiction-y, right? But Rey, her lineage, always really interested me. I think it was not necessarily the most important mystery box because it really turned out to... See, everybody thought that she was going to be somebody, right? There needs to be some kind of lineage. People think that the Force is some kind of like generational monarchy, which I think is silly. But yeah, I would say Rey's lineage is probably my favorite mystery box. That was answered in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi had a lot of those kind of things, right? A lot of like don't meet your hero moments, or moments that you thought were going to be super epic, and because Rey has to be somebody, right? Snoke has to be somebody, right? All these characters have to be somebody, right? No, it was kind of like subdued the hype and your expectations, kind of subverted them. But no, Hawthorne, I don't even... Yeah, I'm kind of like the Crown Coruscant edition. Exactly. Yeah. Like, why does greatness does not have to come from greatness, right? That's the American dream, man. Pull yourself up. You'd be born in dirt. And if you have the will and discipline, you can make your way. And that's how I've always seen the Force. The Force is something that everyone has. It's an energy field that connects all living things. Everybody has it. It's up to you to succumb to it, to become one with it. So yeah, long story short, Hawthorne, yeah. I always accidentally say Hoth for whatever reason. Hawthorne, but I appreciate that question, man. Hawthorne says, one of my favorite mystery boxes, Han sliding back into his old life after Ben turns into Kylo. I wonder and infer about that transition. Hoth is cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I get, when everything kind of fails, when your world starts to crumble around you, a lot of people kind of fall back into what they were, like Han said, always good at, what he always knew. I mean, people with like something, it's a completely different thing, but with substance abuse issues, right? Some little minor thing goes wrong or some big thing goes wrong in their life and they just, revert back to the way they were. But yeah. But Hawthorne, thank you so much for the video question. I greatly appreciate that, man. All right, let's scroll up a little bit. I have patrons that are able to submit videos, but I think they don't want to, but I wish they would. Hawthorne, get on them. Get on them next time I post on Patreon. Say, hey, you motherfuckers, post a video. It makes these things fun. You get to be in the video. It's fun. And everybody go subscribe to Hawthorne and follow him on Twitter. You saw his Twitter up there. Hoth_Han. The next question comes from Ryan Harp on Patreon. Hey, Greedo. Hope you, your wife, and daughter are doing well. If you had the opportunity to visit any of the filming locations from any of the 9 live-action Star Wars films released so far, which one would you like to visit the most, and why? A knee-jerk reaction, the first thing that comes to mind is Tunisia. I would love to go to Tunisia. I don't know how safe it is at the moment. Last time I heard it was like under ISIS control. Which, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing, Ryan. Like, as Americans, it pisses me off when Americans say that they're scared to travel abroad. That pisses me off. Because I have talked to so many citizens of the world, non-Americans, who are scared of coming to America because of like the murder count and the gun problem and all that stuff. So it's really interesting to hear Americans, you know, say, "Oh, I'm too scared to go to London." Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's so stupid. But no, Ryan, I would love to go to Tunisia. I would love to go to Tunisia just because, you know, A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. It's the movie that started my love for this whole thing. I mean, really, my love for science fiction in general as a genre. I would love to go see Luke's the hotel. It's actually a hotel. Luke's homestead, the Lars homestead. There's actually an episode 3 kind of exterior build of the Lars homestead that they used that I would love to go see too. I think it's kind of dilapidated, but they kind of, I don't know, revamped it, made it look better. But yeah, Ryan, I would love to go to Tunisia. Yeah. Sorry guys, I got my coffee trying to wake up. But yeah, Tunisia, just because, you know, A New Hope is my favorite. I would love to go to Tatooine. Kind of a dream. But yeah. Here in Argentina, a foreigner tourist got mugged and murdered just as he arrived to the bus terminal. That sucks, man. That sucks. Happens everywhere, you know. Crazy. Gotta be safe wherever you go. Rough world, man. All right. The next question comes from Fifi Gable. All right, let me scroll. It takes a long time to scroll up there if you didn't notice. Fifi Gable asks, this is from Patreon as well. Hello, Senor HG. Fifi wants to know who from the Star Wars Pantheon would make the best number 1 instead of Commander Knock Boots Riker. Knock Boots. He just wants to knock boots with everything that moves, right? How about Admiral Mahdi? Fifi? Fefe? Fifi? I'm gonna say Fifi. Well, you said Fifi. I'll say Admiral Mahdi. He's sassy. Your ancient. What does he say? I'm gonna look that up. Admiral Mahdi quote. Admiral Mahdi quote. Don't be too proud of this technological. That's Vader. Duh. Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Let me. I'm trying to find his other quote. Yeah. Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels hidden. Love it. I'll say Admiral Mahdi. Why not? He seems kind of like a loose cannon who doesn't know who he's dealing with. You know, like everybody on the deck there was probably... I mean, how do you not know that Vader's going to choke you when you're sassy, right? Maybe Admiral Mahdi was like just the newest cocky recruit out of the academy. Who knows? I'll say Admiral Mahdi, Fifi. But I appreciate the question, man. The next question, let me scroll up a little bit. I guess I don't have to. Comes from Dirty Hijab. Hey, man, HG, got any advice for a 22-year-old man who has no clue what I want to do with my life/career? First advice, man, is not to freak out. Not to freak out. When I was 22, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do with my life either. Most people don't know what the hell they want to do with their life. So don't freak out. Dude, I know, like... See, when I enlisted into the military when I was 21. And before that, you know, I saw all my friends going to college, really doing well. They all had kind of they all had a goal, an aspiration that were kind of pushing towards. They kind of saw the finish line, right? I didn't see a finish line. I saw just a big blurry nothing. Where, I mean, I knew what I was good at. I knew what I had a passion for, but I didn't know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I mean, and that term, the rest of your life, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. You're 22, man, and who knows, in 5 years you might not care about the thing that you're into right now, you know? So first thing, don't worry. Don't panic. You probably see your friends being super successful in school, or maybe already graduated and pursuing something that, you know, but don't let that influence you. Don't let that panic you. It panicked me a little bit, you know. You see your buddies doing really well, and you have like zero desire to go back to school, so you just enlist in the military. And then that's I needed that, you know. That's kind of where I found myself. But yeah, don't panic, man. You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time. And don't think you got to settle for one thing. It's not like when our parents, right? I don't know how well, you're 22. I'm 10 years or almost 10 years older than you. I'll be 32 in almost a month. But like, you know, my parents' generation, they graduated high school. Neither of my parents went to college, but they got really good careers. My dad grew up in Detroit. He was with the auto industry, really good union job. You know, he was there for 36 years, and that was their generation. You know, you work a job until you retire. It's way different now with us. That's way different than us, you know. Because I know a lot of people who have just bounced around with jobs or pursuing their own thing. I mean, like the entrepreneurial spirit in our generation, man. It's huge. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't think you got to settle. The world is different than back then, you know. You can find your own way a lot easier than then. And yeah, don't panic, man. You'll be good. You'll be good. You'll be good. And whatever you end up doing, do it the best you can. Never know. And maybe have I always like tell people it's awesome to have like a little side gig, you know? Because HelloGreedo was a side gig. HelloGreedo was a side gig, man. While I worked a job in an office doing a little bit of like graphic design and stuff. And HelloGreedo was a side gig, and now it's a full gig, you know? So yeah, always, you know, have a side thing that is like your main passion. You never know where it could go. You never know where it could go. Raptark says, I still need to get a job. Was thinking of McDonald's or Burger King. Not sure if I could stand cleaning up bathrooms, though. Everybody has to start somewhere, man. I worked at Burger King. That was my first job, actually. I was 15. I think I was 15. I didn't have a license yet. Yeah, I was 15. Yeah, that was my first job. And, you know, don't worry about cleaning bathrooms. Clean bathrooms, 5 minutes, you're done. Wash your hands, you're done. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We used to take turns in the Navy on deployment cleaning up the head. And our head, it had 4 toilets and 2 showers for 250 guys. So everybody would take turns cleaning it. And you want to talk about a shit show. But I mean, it was clean as hell, because if you didn't clean it, if everybody didn't pitch in and clean it, you know, you would catch hell from your chief and stuff like that. But yeah, don't worry, man. Just go get a job. It's easy. 6 foot piss radius. Hey, HG, thanks so much for taking the time. Have you ever intentionally pissed yourself? Jesus Christ. Aside from infancy, of course. Intentionally? Did you mean unintentionally? No, I've never intentionally pissed myself. I don't think. Did I have to warm myself up when I was cold at some point? No, that's not what you do, right? Because that shit'll just freeze really quick and make you even more cold. No, I've never intentionally pissed myself. Well, unless you count, like, pissing in a lake. I've unintentionally pissed myself when I was a kid. Like you said. Infancy. Or like when you peed the bed as a kid. I had that problem growing up. But, what kind of fucking question is that, 6 foot? No, I've never intentionally pissed myself. Liam O. Haven't had a job yet. Fuck knows where I'll get my first one. Well, it's always, let's see, I worked at a Burger King grocery store. These are kind of like the retail jobs that I had. I worked at a bookstore. And I, yeah, let's see. I'm going to list them. Burger King, grocery store, bookstore, Navy, graphic design, HelloGreedo, freelance. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. You'll figure it out, man. Don't think you need some grand thing for your first job. Just it's always nice. As my dad always said, he always told me, it's nice to have a little bit of your own money in your pocket. You know, makes you feel good. Makes you have a little sense of pride. You know, because if you work like an 8-hour shift at Burger King, whatever, you know, you might get what's minimum wage? I don't even know. I don't know. 8 hours, let's say at $8, $64. It's not much, but for a kid that lives at home, you know, that's pretty goddamn good. That's your date money. You know? Make you feel good to have a little bit of cash in your pocket that you made. But I appreciate that question, 6 foot. I don't know where the hell that comes from. It's good to learn basic work environment rules in a low-stakes job. Oh, yeah. That's a really good way of looking at it, Hawthorne. That's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you learn how to interact with people, not just customers, but your subordinates, your superiors. You kind of learn how to communicate with people and be friendly. And yeah, like you said, work ethic. Absolutely. The next question comes from Vader Meme. What do you think would happen if Han Solo met Indiana Jones, and if they fought, who would win? I would say Indiana Jones would win. He seems like more of a brawler, you know? He's like, Indiana Jones is more like, if somebody, you know, I can see, Han tries to talk shit and get out of situations, right? He plays dumb. He plays innocent, but he's really a schemer. He's a shithead. Indiana Jones, instead of trying to talk his way out of it, he just says, fuck off, and he punches him in the face. Indiana Jones would totally win in a fight, right? Totally win in a fight. Yeah. Han Solo is kind of like a schemer. I didn't mean to. Even on his ship in The Force Awakens, when those two, like, gangs come, and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I paid my debts, blah, blah, blah. I paid my debt, so Han Solo is like a shithead, a schemer. Indiana Jones will just hit you and throw you into the rotors of an of an airplane. But Vader Meme, what do you think would happen if Han Solo met Indiana Jones? They probably wouldn't like one another. I don't know. Interesting question. I usually like. That's interesting because I look at the characters. You know, whenever anybody asks me, like, who would win at a fight, Darth Maul or Darth Vader, I just kind of like, I don't care. I don't care. We're talking about, fiction. I like that question. That's interesting. The next question comes from Venom Jubear. I asked this way back, but never got a definitive answer. Does sneezing and your uncle's asshole count as... Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell? I remember that posted in Discord a long time ago. Why does it keep popping up with -250 at the tip top there? unless it just is a repeat. I don't know. I remember when you posted that way back in the day. Jeez. No, it doesn't. Where the fuck does that even come from? Is that something I should know? Is that from somewhere? I'm skipping your shit. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm gonna grab some more coffee. All right, I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick. I'm just gonna put on a BRB thing and put on a song. I'll be back before this song ends. But give me like, oh, you made it up. Nice. Give me like 30 seconds just to pour more coffee. Oh. Why is that populating now? That took a while to populate.
The Force will be with you.
That doubled up. Nice. Ollie, Nine Nut, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. Did you enjoy my... hold on, I'll talk to you guys briefly before I go get some coffee. I saw that you were the first one to break the April Fool's live stream yesterday. That's pretty funny. But I appreciate that channel support, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, means a lot, man. Did you guys enjoy... Did you catch my live stream yesterday? My April Fool's live stream? I loved it. I would occasionally walk back into the room and look at the chat and just laugh. People are like, what's going on? What? Basically, if you missed it, it was a fake Fortnite stream. Sat through the whole stream. No, you fucking didn't. Bullshit. It was a fake Fortnite stream where, I'll post a link to it in the chat. How about that? But basically, yeah, it was a fake Fortnite stream for like, what, 2.5 hours or something like that. And, it was so funny. I made it look like it was buffering the whole time. I really enjoyed doing that. That was like one of my favorite things I have ever done on this channel, just because it was so stupid. And it got a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of probably non-HelloGreedo followers. You know, they saw it. Just people wanting to watch people play Fortnite. What's going on? People were like, am I the only one lagging? I loved it. But Ollie, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that channel support. Liam, oh, damn it, Greedo, you got me with the buffering thing. I actually thought my internet was down. Nice. Success. I always forget about April Fools until like 2 days before April Fools. And maybe next year I'll come up with a really big plan for it. Really big plan. We'll see. But all right, guys, give me like 30 seconds. I'm going to refill my coffee. All right? Turn down your volume. This music might be loud. 3, 2, 1. BRB. I'm already back. Was that too loud? I'm always curious, you know, you see those, even like, you see some YouTube channels have like this introductions and stuff, and they are so loud compared to their microphone and whatnot, you know? So, was that super loud? I'm curious. Anyway, let's keep going with the questions. Pretty loud, sorry, Liam. I'll turn it down next time. The next question comes from Maxago. It's almost my birthday. Do you know any Star Wars themed birthday songs you could sing me? Star Wars themed. Let's see. Star Wars themed birthday songs. Star Wars birthday song. Happy birthday from Star Wars. See, I don't want to listen to any of these things. Let's look lyrics.
The Force will be with you. The Force will be with you.
I loved how you finally answered my question. Haha.
Why is that doubling up? That's weird. Did it do that with yours too, Ollie? I gotta figure some shit out. Venom Jubear, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. I loved how you finally answered my question. Well, yeah, it doesn't count as that, man. It doesn't count as that. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I guess it's up to interpretation, right? Right? Go ask your uncle, Venom. Go ask your uncle. He would probably know. But Max Zago, any Star Wars themed birthday songs? I don't know any Star Wars themed birthday songs, but let's see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Max Zago. Happy birthday to you. Ho, 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 ho. Happy birthday, man. No, I don't know any Star Wars birthday songs. I apologize. Maybe I'll write one. Maybe I will write a Star Wars birthday song that people can send to their friends. Maybe somebody can pay me like $50 and I'll say, happy birthday to Tom. Happy birthday to Tom. And I'll just like insert, you know how it goes, whatever. But yeah, happy birthday, man. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, there's like a little gash in my main monitor. Don't know how it got there, but it pisses me off. It's like, I mean, I can feel it. It's like a little nick. I think it happened when I was installing my new microphone in the microphone arm, but it drives me fucking crazy. It's like I mean it's small, but it's enough to piss you off. It's if you opened a pin and stuck a pin into your screen. It's about that size. I don't know, pissing me off. Debating about ordering one or just like spamming Asus or like Acer and be like, send me monitors. But next question comes from Nick B. Hey HG, got any interesting or funny stories from your time in the Navy? Not well. Funny ones are. I wonder if I could blur out people's faces. I have some videos that crack me up. Not necessarily like story, just the entire thing of deployment. I mean, picture going to camp with a bunch of dudes that are your friends, and if you don't, even if you don't really like them, you become really good friends. It's hard to explain. But the entire deployment was fun. It was fun. The guys I was deployed with. So the way it works, I was in a helicopter squadron. And so our squadron has detachments, right? Every squadron has like a detachment. Helicopter squadrons do, at least. I don't know about fixed wing. But so let's say there's 15 detachments in this squadron. Each detachment has maybe 15, 20 guys in it. So you go out with your detachment on a ship where you don't know anybody. So it's basically you 20 squadron guys. And then hundreds and hundreds of boat guys who, they have all their own, they all know each other. And then you are like just the newbie on the ship. So you're kind of like, you get stick together, right? But it was so fun because everybody would just like play cards, shoot the shit, sit out on the back of the flight deck while the bird was spinning, while the helicopter was flying, smoking cigars. It was like being at camp with a bunch of friends, but the stakes are high and you have to really work and you're on call 24/7 and you barely sleep and it's fun. And you go to neat places. But I'm trying to think, man. I mean, just goofing around all day, and having like really kind of intense moments where like emergency flight quarters, they would call emergency flight quarters if like, the pilot thought there was something wrong with the aircraft. And we had that happen a few times. And everybody like, there was a couple times where we were eating, and they would call emergency flight quarters, and all the squadron guys are down there at the same time eating. Emergency flight quarters, emergency flight quarters. And we all just drop our forks and run upstairs. So we just left our food and everything, and we immediately throw on all the emergency equipment we needed, got all the books and everything that we needed, and got prepared to help land the aircraft. You know, everybody backs way up back in the hangar just in case there's like a crash landing. I don't know, there were some really like asshole puckering moments on deployment, but it was fun, man. Nick B. I could go on and on, Nick, but I don't want to bore the people. But it was neat. I'll have to show, if you scroll back probably a couple of years on my Instagram, you'll probably see some Throwback Thursday videos of me when I was like flying around in the helicopter and stuff. But yeah, cool question, Nick. I could go on and on, but I won't bore the people. But I appreciate it. The next question comes from Luke Everhard. Let me pull this up on my other monitor because it's getting a little hard for me to read it. I think I'm going to start needing glasses. I think I am getting old. All right. Luke Everhard, thank you so much for the question, man. I don't know what it is. I hope it's not just fuck you. Hey, HG, thanks for answering my last question. And just to clarify, my surname is pronounced Eberhard. Okay. Like a compound word. Okay. I guess it's either Eber or Eber, but I'm going to say Eber. I completely agree with you when you say it's okay to love, hate Star Wars film. Although, when it was widely reported on the eve of the release of Black Panther, it was revealed some group by a pathetic name called Down with Disney's treatment of franchises and its fanboys were purposefully organizing to rate down the audience score for that movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Since then, the group has now been taken down, but this story raises the specter of internet trolling, hate speech, and anonymous content, which has become such a part of the modern lifestyle, especially since this conspiracy about Disney manipulating the press into creating negative buzz for Warner Brothers DC films is absolutely ridiculous since RT is owned by Warner Brothers, right? Why would they conspire against themselves? What do you make of this story, especially if it's to be believed this group is also responsible for TLJ's purposefully low audience score on RT? Doesn't it seem unbearable to you that this backlash almost hinders towards vicious hate, such as sexism and racism, than fairly disliking a particular film? P.S. Your criticism of TLJ were fair and balanced, which I came to consider and appreciate beyond your first impressions. Well, I appreciate that, Luke. No, I don't think it's political at all, Raptark. What's political about this? I think you might be reading into it a little too much. It's about internet trolling and anonymous dipshits. That's all it is. It's weird, Luke. Like, it's very easy for people to organize on the internet, right? And make something look more, I don't know, less liked or more liked than it actually is. I mean, it's kind of like Yelp reviews, right? You think about some or internet reviews in general. Most of the time, the people that write reviews are negatively impacted by their experience, right? Have you ever, I mean, I'm sure everybody has written positive reviews about places, but it takes a lot more for somebody to write a positive review than it does a negative review, right? Because there's such a victim culture out there, right? It's kind of the same thing when somebody's like pleased with something or whatnot. They don't have the desire for the most part to go on Rotten Tomatoes and go, I like this. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The people that get organized are often pissed off. Anger leads to internet organization or just wanting to troll. But no, the thing is, like, you can I acknowledge that there are people that just are pissed off and want to, you know, troll and click the thumbs down a million times. They exist. There's also legitimate criticism of the movie, right? Completely legitimate criticism of the movie. And it's kind of funny, whenever I talk about the one, people say, well, there's legitimate criticism about the movie. Yeah, I never said there wasn't, fucker. It's like people, you know what I mean? Like, people just listen to what they want to hear. I'll say something, well, yeah, this part was that. I'll say something about this part of the movie. But what about that, the other part? Well, yeah, I haven't got there yet. I'm not talking about that part yet. I'm talking about this part. But what about the other part? Yeah. I'll get to that. I've already talked about that. Go watch this video. I don't know. But, I don't know, man. It's weird. There's legitimate criticism, obviously. I have legitimate criticism, obviously. I've stated my opinion dozens of times on this channel now. But there is like a weird internet conspiratorial machine out there that, I don't know, it's very strange. Reads too deep into things. Thinks there's like a puppet master pulling the strings of critics. Like, if that was the case, why not pay off all the YouTube channels who are pissed off about the thing? Like, most people probably watch YouTube channels to get reviews of movies nowadays compared to reading reviews. I mean, I read reviews sometimes just when I'm on my phone and I don't want to disturb my wife. But whenever I want to hear somebody's opinion about a movie, I always go to YouTube. I don't know. I don't even know what I just said, Luke. I just went on a completely random tangent. But it's a weird world, you know? We kind of have to figure out, it's a new world, right? The internet, our new communication, it's new to us. We're not used to it yet as human beings. We're not used to this power that we all hold. And I think on an individual basis, we kind of have to figure out how to filter bullshit. You need a really good bullshit detector when you're on the internet. So you're not on Facebook and you're somebody just posts some bullshit like fake thing, and then everybody gets mad and shares it a million times and turns out, oh, it's fake. Everybody needs a good bullshit detector both on the internet and real life, but yeah. All right. I don't even know what I said, man, but I appreciate the question. All right, let me scroll up a little bit here, get to the movie critic dude. Check out the chat. Looks like roast beef. What does? PFP sandwich? What? It's pig, cow, breaded meat, and vital tone? Hawthorne says, in my experience, counterclaims are the hard... Oh, let me stop here real quick. There we go. In my experience, counterclaims are the hardest part for students to consider when forming their argument because it requires them to leave their comfort zone and consider other ways of thinking. Also, in my experience, listening skills through Common Core are the ones assessed least. Interesting. That's another difficult skill, assessing a source for BS. Yeah, I think thinking critically, and being able to detect bullshit, being a level-headed skeptic, not, you know, just because it's interesting to me, like, people automatically trust sources just because they like the talking head on the news 24/7 news channel. I like him. I agree with him. So they don't apply the same criticism and skepticism to the people that they like that they do to the people that they don't like. You know what I mean? Yeah. We need to teach... I think if we called it bullshit detecting in schools, maybe kids would be more interested in it. I think calling it critical thinking puts the kids to sleep. You need a good bullshit detector, kid. You need to be able to detect bullshit. I actually didn't know you were a teacher, Hawthorne. That's awesome. I saw you post that earlier in the stream. That's really interesting. That's kind of my goal, too. I'm sure you know that, but I like to chit-chat. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's actually my goal is to finish up my degree using the GI Bill, which I probably have like a year and a half left, and then become a high school art teacher, and then keep doing Greedo and be a teacher. You know, I think that'd be fun. ELA Technology and Media. Nice. That's badass, man. That's badass. Yeah. Do they still have AV clubs? Maybe that's where I should go. That's cool though, man. The movie critic dude asks, "Hey HG, if you think the Domino..." Oh, let me actually pull it up on my other monitor because my eyes are going. Movie critic dude asks, "Hey HG, if you think the Domino Squad arc of the Clone Wars is your favorite so far. I know that will change pretty soon with Umbara arc, which is a fan favorite, including myself, as it's basically Star Wars Vietnam War. It's so fantastic. I am very excited to see your vid upon it later on. As for my question here, what do you think of Anakin's portrayal and characterization, as well as his voice being so much different than in the prequels? And were you surprised by it? Surprised by his voice? No. You know, it's obviously two different people. That kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. I knew, you know, you go into it knowing that Ewan McGregor isn't going to be voicing Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, go into it knowing that Hayden Christensen isn't going to be voicing it. So, you know, I can separate the two. Obviously, they look very different than their real-life counterparts, right? So, yeah, I can differentiate. But no, so it doesn't surprise me. I'm cool with it. But as far as Anakin's portrayal and characterization, it gives me more appreciation for not really, I guess, for the overall story enveloping the prequels within it, you know. I really like how Anakin is portrayed because it's kind of like a slow and steady burn where we see his dissension, his lack of towing the line and like going with authority and going with the plan. I like kind of seeing him, you know, branch off and kind of do things that are unexpected and against the grain. So seeing Anakin kind of further slowly fall away from, I guess, the Jedi mandates, the Jedi way, the Jedi code. It's interesting to see because you see these little moments in the show, and they kind of compound on themselves. You know, Anakin doesn't go with the orders. He makes his own way, blah, blah, blah. It continually compounds on itself and just builds and builds and builds and builds. And we know where it ends up. So, no, I like how Anakin's portrayed. I especially like all the small moments that, you know, we know it feeds into where he will eventually go. Does that make sense? But yeah, movie critic dude. Also, I'm excited for Umbara too. I don't really know much about it, but I've heard everybody say what you just said. It's basically Star Wars Vietnam War. So, yeah, I'm excited to see that. Be interesting. But I appreciate that question, man. All right, let's scroll up. As I said, I got like half the questions that I normally do. I don't know if it's because I'm doing these monthly now instead of every other month. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe next month we'll get more. But, it's all good. I don't know when the next one will be. I'm still anticipating it being early May, but I might have to push it back just because my daughter is going to be born within the next 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it could be tomorrow. My wife is basically like having minor contractions. She's basically in the process. She's almost there. She's at the finish line. And goddamn, like, my dad has always said, you know, if men had to give birth, there would be no children. And I would be bitching and moaning about having this basketball full of meat to lug around, you know, but she's a trooper. She's a trooper. I would be such a baby. But, yeah. She's a trooper, man. Lost my train of thought. I'm a tough guy. If I had to carry around a baby, I'm a tough guy. Fuck off. I fucking hate tough guys, man. Oh, you're so tough. That's fun, man. Let's see. Venom Jewbear. So, Greedo, I'm getting a job in Alaska. This is in the chat. I'm getting a job in Alaska this summer where it's 12 hours every day for $5,000. Is it worth it? That sounds awesome. What's the job? Alaska this summer where it's 12 hours every day. Is it like a kind of a helping a ranger or something like that? That's badass. I don't even know what you're doing, man, but I think that's badass. Because I've always wanted to go to Alaska. Our plan, actually, this year, I mean, as soon as my wife got pregnant, we immediately scrapped the plan. We're going to, do it in the future. But we're wanting to go to Denali National Park. We rented an RV and did 6 national parks out west. Now we want to rent an RV and do Alaska, which would be fucking awesome. Salmon packing. Oh, nice. Yeah, dude. What a cool life experience that would be. Go for it. Yeah. Is it worth it? Absolutely. They probably, house you or whatnot, It's free plane ticket and cheap housing. Yeah, why not, man? That sounds fucking great. It's those little life experiences, right? I'm telling you right now, if you do not do that, I think you'll regret it. I really do think you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Like this one cool summer job opportunity, 12 hours every day. Fuck yeah, dude, do that. Get pumped about it. Like traveling, seeing a different part of the world that you've never seen, different part of the country, salmon packing, making a little bit of dough. That's a cool life experience. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah, do it. You'll learn more doing that than you ever have at school. I guarantee it. Learn more about the real world. That's kick-ass, man. Go for it. Obviously, I don't want, this silly guy wearing a Stormtrooper helmet shouldn't dictate what you're going to do with your life. But to me, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. But yeah. The next question comes from Alexander Garcilazo Marino. Garcilazo. I think I got that right. Alexander Garcilazo Marino. Hey, HelloGreedo. Have you ever seen the Ewok adventure films, Caravan of Courage and the Battle of Endor? If yes, will you ever make a review video about them? Thanks, and may the Force be with you. I have seen... I think I've seen Caravan of Courage. I think that's the only one I've ever seen. And it has been, I want to say decades. Let me see. Caravan of Courage. When did that come out? 1984. Okay, yeah, definitely decades then. But it's to the point where I don't remember anything about it. It's like one of those things where you've seen it, and then you see screenshots of it and you go, oh, I have a vague memory of that. I know I've seen that, But it's been so long, I don't have really any memories of it. I can barely remember what it was. So to make a review about it, I would have to watch it again. Maybe I'll do that. It's kind of funny, like the Ewok Adventure, it said 1984 was when the first one came out, or Caravan of Courage came out. That was a year after Return of the Jedi. I actually didn't know it was that old. I thought it was in the 90s. I had no idea. That's interesting. But maybe I'll watch them. Maybe I'll do a review on them. The thing is, like, stuff like that, man, where obviously it's made for a kid, right? It's a cartoon. Let's see. Oh, wait, it's not a cartoon. What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of something completely different. No, wait a second. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I've ever seen this. No. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading. No, I've never seen this. I'm thinking of something completely different. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? I'm just thinking of Ewoks. Okay, the TV series. No, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I might have to find myself a copy. I don't know, man. Alexander, you just kind of like... I've seen some of the GIFs and stuff like that from there, but I didn't realize I had never seen this. Well, I guess I'll have to make a video and review it. Interesting. I'll have to do that, Alexander. I just talked for a long time about something that I realized 5 minutes later that I had never seen. I just noticed there's no background music today. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to do background music. Oh well. I'll do that next month for sure, Raptark. The next question comes from Oliard 9nut. Hey man, how are you doing? Is Star Wars... Oh, hold on, let me get to my other monitor. Oliard says, hey man, how are you doing? If Star Wars ever were to have a crossover movie, who would you like to see them do a crossover with? I will not take Star Trek for an answer. That would be my answer. And that's tough. I think it, like, a crossover... I don't really want a crossover with anything that would be... like Marvel, DC. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want kind of another fictional thing to cross over into Star Wars. I mean, you took away Star Trek from me. But what's another, like, what about Battlestar Galactica? What about, I don't know, something... What about something that's kind of, like, based in the real world? Or space exploration and stuff like that? Where we discover, you know, we're able to travel faster than light. Well, way faster than light. I mean, what the closest neighboring galaxy to our Milky Way is Andromeda. And that is let's see. How far is Andromeda galaxy? Andromeda is 2.5 million light years. 2.5 million light years. So if you were going at the speed of light, it would take you 2.5 million years to get to Andromeda from here. Think about that. Think about that. All the light that our telescopes pick up from the Andromeda galaxy took 2.5 million years to hit that optical instrument on your telescope. So yeah, in order to go to a different galaxy, we would need to do something much faster than the speed of light. I don't know what we would do. We'll figure it out, right? We're humans. Everybody will figure it out. I'll be long dead. You'll be long dead too. But I don't know. I think it'd be neat for some kind of you know, fictional far future TV show to like discover the Star Wars galaxy. You know what I mean? To peer back in time. And I don't know. It'd be kind of neat. It'd be kind of neat. I don't know what I would want though. Like another franchise. I don't know. You'd have to write it. You would have to... That would be kind of a cool thing. To write a franchise where... Or write a TV series where all of these fictional things, like kind of pop culture series and franchises that appear in space. Like you would see Krypton. I mean, you could see... Thor's homeworld. Well, I don't know anything about fucking Thor. But all these like space themed shows where, you know, planets and galaxies and stuff like that. And then your show would travel and to these fictional worlds and galaxies and all this stuff and discover that all of this stuff actually happened. Be kind of neat. Star Wars X Transformers? I guess. How about Star Wars plus the Cosmos series? Neil, that would be a funny April Fool's video or something. Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how they found the Star Wars galaxy. Maybe that would. Maybe that wouldn't. I don't have a pick for it. It's hard for me to pick too. I mean, the only one that kind of, like you said, I can't pick Star Trek, but the only one that kind of fits what I would like it to be would be Star Trek, you know? They would go to a different galaxy, or they would at least be able to peer deep into space and maybe travel there, or, I don't know, send some communication and find the Star Wars galaxy. The hunt for the... Because Star Wars exists in the Star Trek universe, because Star Trek takes place in the real world. We got Beastie Boys, right? There you go, Star Wars plus Contact. Well, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh, Liam O, do you think it's actually possible for humans to ever invent technology that'll allow us to travel at/faster than the speed of light? Liam O, I would never say never. I think, given that we never kill ourselves, you know, never clean up our act, never actually look at our planet like a womb, and we're the babies. We got to take care of this fucking womb. We can't just keep pouring bullshit in the air and the water, you know. It's our home. It's our home. You got to take care of it, right? And if we don't nuke ourselves, or if some big plague doesn't wipe us out, I think human beings will eventually be able to do whatever. I kind of believe that, you know, even in a million years, human beings will not be human beings. We will be some other life form. Just, you know what I mean? Evolutionarily speaking, we will be vastly different. I mean, vastly different than what we are now. It's kind of interesting, man. I love, you know how everybody looks at the Greys? Like, the Greys are the typical look of aliens, right? Whenever anybody has some kind of, like, abduction story or whatnot. Not that I believe them. But it's kind of interesting how this, like, fictional gray-looking area is alien is kind of like the go-to model whenever anybody thinks of aliens. Big eyes, you know, big brain, tiny nostrils, skinny body. It's kind of interesting to look at humans in the far future. That might be what we look like, you know? Spacefaring beings that don't really get much sunlight. They don't have a tan. They're absolutely gray and white. Their eyes are huge because the darkness of space. It's kind of interesting to look at them like that. Just kind of these creatures that evolved in, potential darkness. Like you look at the bottom of the oceans, right? Fish have spots for eyes. They don't have eyes, though. They didn't need them. They evolved in these caverns, these absolute zero light areas, and they didn't need their eyes. It's kind of interesting, you know? But let's see. Aren't we all meant to burn?
The Force will be with you.
I think it's a few billion years, but we'll figure it out, man.
I'd pay top dollar for Star Wars X Dead Space. Star Wars X Dead Space.
I don't know why it's like. Hold on a second. I think I figured it out. No, I didn't figure it out. I was wondering why it's like echoing. I'll have to figure that out. I apologize for the echo. But Cap Coldblood, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. I'd pay top dollar for Star Wars plus Dead Space. I forgot about Dead Space, man. Oh, like not combining the universes, right? Just a Star Wars game that kind of feels like Dead Space. That's how I would love that too. Shit, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I played the first Dead Space on my Xbox. I don't think I ever beat it. I got to a point where I was like in a big, it almost looked like a hangar. Big open cylinder that I was floating in. I think I was floating in. And these creatures kept coming at me, and it felt endless, and I just got frustrated and never picked up the controller again. But, that would be neat. I would love that. That'd be fun. That reminds me, I need to play some more single player games. I actually have Assassin's Creed on the Xbox Origins. I played like 15 minutes. I would need to finish it, but I'd pay top dollar for that too, Cap Coldblood. That sounds awesome. Is Dead Space for the PC? I might just do that. Can't you ask now on Q&A? What's that? Can't you ask now on Q&A? Well, you're in the different. Oh, you're talking about in Discord. The difference is that most of these questions come from Patreon, which, patrons can't be in the sponsor chat. But if you want to ask something in the live stream chat as a sponsor, you can. So there's really no reason to post it in the Q&A right now. I use the Q&A Discord room for people that can't make the live stream, you know. But Raptark, I have your question here. I just haven't scrolled up yet. It's at the bottom. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Hawthorne is there. Hawthorne was the first question, or up. What am I saying? Hawthorne was a video question that I played earlier. Palp forgot to ask his. If he can hop in here, oh, Palp, Star Wars. I didn't even see you in the chat, man. Oof. I forgot to ask a question. Well, feel free to ask it in the chat, man. Star Wars time with My Little Pony. It sounds perfect. What am I doing? I scrolled up too far. I revealed the truth. There are layers to this shit. See that? There's layers and there's blackness behind it. Nothing exists behind it. But let's get that. Let's get that back down. Let's get that back down. Boop. The next question comes from Cap Coldblood, and then I'll get to Palp, and then I'll get to Raptar. Let's take a step back from all the. Let me scroll, zoom in a little bit on my other monitor. Let's take a step back from all the philosophical stuff I've been throwing around lately and talk about something near and dear to me as a Star Wars fan. Which faction in Star Wars has your favorite Navy or fighter craft? For example, the TIE series of fighters from the Empire is my favorite fighter type because of the beautiful scream of the engines. That is one of my favorite sounds in the entire Star Wars saga. The blasters on them and the swarm tactics employed due to their design. The Venator class Star Destroyer, the ship we'll be playing on in your upcoming Empire RP server, nice, is my favorite capital ship due to the long ventral hangar bay along the spine of the ship, and the fact that it can hold over 100 fighter craft. So what is your favorite fighter and capital ship from any of the Star Wars factions, and why? My favorite ship, period, in the Star Wars universe is an X-Wing. I like the look of it. It looks like a cross between, you know, an actual, like an F-18, F-17, F-16, an actual fighter, but in space. You know what I mean? It's like grounded in reality, whereas the TIE fighters I like for a different reason. I like the uniqueness of them. I like the kind of a weird design. I like the fact that I love the screeching, as you said, the screaming. That's one of my favorite sounds in the Star Wars franchise. That kind of shit. I love it. The maneuverability of them is kind of neat too. Way more maneuverable than an X-Wing. It looks like they just jerk, you know, boop, boop. I'm making motions with my hand as if you can see it. But no, my favorite ship, period, out of anything, even capital ships, even the Millennium Falcon, even whatever, is an X-Wing. I think I just like the dirty look of it, you know? It looks like they've been through some shit. They look used and abused. And favorite capital ship, God. I'm gonna look at some. I know I'm gonna forget some stuff. So let me look. Well, out of just pure design, I think I like the Corvette. I think I like the Corvette. Let me see. God, there's so many. I mean, I think my favorite one is probably just the Corvette from A New Hope. That kind of style, you know? That's the thing, like, I love it all, right? I love it all, but for whatever reason, I'm attracted to the, kind of the rebel crafts. The ones that look like they were just plucked out of the real world. I mean, all the rebel stuff kind of looks like potentially what future humans will make. And I mean, you look at some actual Navy crafts or actual airplanes, you know, they're beat up. Sometimes they're a little dirty. I like that look. I like that used and abused Star Wars universe, you know? So I think, I think that's my favorite. But Palpa meme, get it fucking right. My question, are you happy with the fact that some facts are facts, but just facts of opinion sold as FedEx? What? Sold at FedEx, fat facts. My dudes, do you like FedEx, fun facts, greedy? What? All right. Was there something in there? Let's see. I'm going to read this as fast as I possibly can and then read it slow. So, is this a real question? Motherfucker. Are you happy with the fact that some facts are facts, but just facts of opinions sold as FedEx, fat facts? My dudes, do you like FedEx, fun facts, greedy? My question, are you happy with the fact that some facts are facts, but just facts of opinions sold at FedEx, hashtag fat facts? My dudes, do you like FedEx, fun facts, greedy? My question, are you happy with the fact that some facts are facts, but just facts, opinions sold as FedEx, hashtag fat facts? My dudes, do you like FedEx, fun facts, greedy? My question, are you happy with the fact that some facts are facts, but just facts of opinion sold as FedEx, hashtag fat facts? My dudes, do you like FedEx, fun facts, greedy? Woo! I don't even know how to answer that, man. God. You know what I love about my mods? They're silly fuckers. Hashtag silly fuckers. Greedo.exe has crashed. Nice. Slave 1 is to be mine because of seismic charges. Yeah. Yep. All right, last question of the stream comes from Raptark. What do you think, let me pull it up. What do you think about the idea of having a Star Wars product, movie, game, etc. that's classified as rated R, plus 18, or a similar age? I don't know if I'm for it or against it. I kind of like, the idea of Star Wars to me has always been inclusive. You want as many people to be able to see it. Inclusivity is Star Wars, right? Inclusivity. It's all about people being able to come together and watch something. It's, Star Wars is made for kids to enjoy as well. That's really the primary thing. But, in the future, when Disney possibly has exhausted a lot of things, a lot of ideas, a lot of the same formulas, maybe they've made a lot of stuff that kind of feels the same, I don't think it would be out of the range of possibility for them to kind of make a rated R Star Wars movie. I don't know what it would be rated R for. I mean, I wouldn't want a lot of cursing in Star Wars. Obviously, I have zero problem with cursing. I curse all the time. But it would be a little weird in Star Wars, right? To hear somebody say shit and fuck all the time. For nudity and sexuality, man, that doesn't fit, right? So it would have to be for violence. So maybe in the future they will have some kind of like horror version of a Star Wars movie with like a planet full of, I don't know, zombies. I wouldn't be opposed. I'm not opposed to it. I'm a little iffy though because, at the moment, I want Star Wars to be as inclusive as it possibly can. I don't really like the idea of a Star Wars movie coming out to a theater where kids can't go and see it because, Star Wars has always been about coming together, and that doesn't mean that it can't change. Star Wars has always kind of ebbed and flowed. It's changed what it's about. So yeah, I can see a future where we would have a rated R movie or a mature Star Wars game, But at the moment, I don't really know if there's a place for it. But in the future, I think so, But yeah, guys. I don't see, Liam O says, I don't see the point. It'd probably be around bounty hunters or Sith. And I mean, blasters and lightsabers are clean/bloodless kills, so it'd need to involve torture and stuff. Potentially, it's kind of interesting how, I think, dude, I've thought about this before. It's kind of interesting how, I think the wounds of lightsabers and blasters kind of evolved and were retconned to make it less gory. right? Because you think about like Obi-Wan Kenobi cutting off the dude arm in the cantina in A New Hope. There's blood. There's a lot of blood. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then with every subsequent Star Wars movie, the gore got less and less and less and less and less, it seems like, you know. Yeah. It's not a not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. A skilled director and storyteller can probably infer more adult concepts without making it exclusive to them. Oh yeah, totally, absolutely. Theoretically, if the sabers were hot enough, they could cut an arm off and burn the wound at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, have to be really fucking hot. what is the temperature to immediately cauterize a wound? Like, not even like, I mean, a big wound, right? You would need to, and as it's moving, I don't even know. Is that even possible? As it's moving through like an arm, to cauterize it as it's moving through. It'd have to be hot as shit. I don't even know if molten metal poured on an arm would do... I don't know. Interesting. That just freaked me the fuck out. That would be the worst pain ever. I mean, was there even a severed limb in Return of the Jedi? I don't think so. But I'm thinking of blasters and all that stuff too, you know? But, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Have you played any of the Batman Arkham games? Liam O. Let me look and see which one I have downloaded. Or I have bought. I have Batman Arkham Origins. Is the only one that I've ever played, and I've played, according to Steam, I've played 51 minutes of it. I'd like to get back into it at some point. I have a whole list of like single-player Star Wars, or not Star Wars games, but single-player games on my PC, even single-player games on my Xbox One S that I need to knock out, you know. But why death by lightsaber would be worse in real life? Watch this later grid. I'll check that out. Yeah, from the channel called Nerdist. Nice. I'll have to check that out. I can imagine some bounty hunters using some gadgets that would brutally kill somebody. Yeah, yeah. Or try to extract information from them, you know. Kind of like the Carbonite Chamber, but more gory, I guess. I think you'd like it. They're all single-player games with some pretty neat stories, fun gameplay. 600... Okay. Yeah, I need to play it. I was so tempted yesterday to buy Far Cry 5. What pushed me over the edge to really wanting to buy it was, I think it was an IGN video, but it was just a video. I think it was an IGN, but it was a video where they had the settings on Ultra 4K, 60 frames a second, and I was watching this, and it was so beautiful. This gameplay. They just spliced in like scenery and then gameplay, and it was just so beautiful. And I was like, okay, I want to buy it. So I'll probably do a Far Cry 5 stream at some point. I might wait for it to go on sale, but man, I'm pumped to play it. I'm pumped. You have Origins, which is chronologically the first game in the series, so start with it and see if you like it. Okay, all right. I'm sure they're relatively cheap nowadays, right? 600 to 800 degrees to immediately cauterize a wound. Jesus, hot. That's fucking hot. Really? 600 to 800 degrees? I mean, my grill goes to like 500 degrees, I think. That's hard to believe. That's crazy. I would think it would need to be way hotter. Interesting. 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 But, I can see someone like Poe saying shit or fuck maybe once in a movie. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can see it. It doesn't mean I want it, but yeah. But, all right, let me make sure. I got everybody in the Patreon. I got everybody in the sponsor Discord. But, yeah, next month, I'm not too sure exactly when I'll be doing the live Q&A. my daughter, the due date is actually April 19th, but as I've said on this stream, it could be in an hour. Basically, my wife is in early labor. You know, she's having minor, like, I think they're called like Braxton Hicks contractions or something like that. Very, very minor at the moment. Kind of dilating, early stages. So it could be today. It could be 2 weeks. Hard to say. So, but I'll play next month's Q&A by ear. At the moment, I'll plan on doing it maybe early May, mid-May. Might have to be late May. I'm not too sure, you know, how everything's going to be going. But hard to believe. Hard to believe my daughter's here, man. Hard to believe. Makes me want to fucking, I kind of well up thinking about it. I can't fucking wait. But all right, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the support. I mean, it really means the world. I am able to do Greedo full-time because of the support. I showed my wife. The breakdown of, like, super chats and sponsorship and patronage, and the whole reason I can do this full-time and make content is because of you guys. That's, I mean, it's crazy to think about, right? It's crazy to think about that all these creators kind of, I don't know, you think about like a talking head on the news or something like that. Nobody's supporting them except for pharmaceutical companies, I guess. But all right, baby names. Maybe I'll tell you guys in the future. We'll see. But you guys don't even know my name. I don't know if I'll tell you my daughter's name, right? That wouldn't be fair to my daughter. We'll see, Liam. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. And I will keep you guys updated with baby stuff and keep you guys updated with next month's Q&A as well when it'll be. But yeah, after this I have to do some baby stuff. I'm completely reorganizing my kitchen today. I'm like getting rid of we probably have 100 pint glasses. Just a stupid amount of beer shit. So I'm gonna get rid of half of them and turn a lot of our cabinets into bottles stuff for baby and whatnot. But all right, guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Horatio, there you go. yeah, you guys don't know. Everybody thinks that I'm white. Could be Hispanic. Could be Asian. You guys don't know. Don't assume what I am, you silly sons of bitches. All right, guys, I'll talk to you on the flip side. Thank you so much for tuning in. Time to do... Also, I'll probably upload a video on the prequel Strike Back documentary today that I plan on watching in a little bit. But, all right, thank you so much for tuning in. Enough rambling. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Let me turn down the music a little bit. See ya!